Hello, welcome to Chamber Check-In. Today we are with Sergio Ortiz of Northwestern Mutual Wealth Management. Hello, Sergio.
Hey, how's it going, Sarah?
Good. Thanks for joining us today. I'd love for you to share a little bit about you and your company and what you do here in Gilbert.
Yeah, so a little bit about me. My wife and I, we live in the Chandler area, but our office is in the Gilbert area. So funny enough, I used to be an engineer at a college. So I did that for about 6 years. Northrop Grumman, if you're familiar, down in Chandler, that's where I last worked. But I have since transitioned to now what I do is financial advice for small business owners and young families. So Northwestern Mutual Wealth Management focus primarily on holistic planning, where they integrate investments and insurance products, but also other areas of the planning, such as estate planning, tax planning, and things like that.
Yeah, so what inspired the professional change?
I always get that question, so good question. Truthfully, one of the biggest reasons is because growing up, my parents didn't have someone like me in their corner. And unfortunately, 4 years ago when my dad passed away, the importance of all that planning really came to light. And so in addition to the emotional toll it took on us, there was a financial toll. And so my mission now is to be the resource I wish my parents would have had.
Well, that's incredible and a beautiful motivating driver to serve our community. Talk a little bit about the types of families you help and how you get started.
So typically young families, so imagine little kiddos running around probably in grade school. And so a lot of the planning we do can focus around the college planning aspect. But obviously there are other areas of planning that we'll talk about, such as insurance planning. Is the family protected if something happens to one or both parents? Estate planning, making sure there's a will or a trust in place. And of course, retirement and investing for the future. So that's what we focus on. The way people can get started in working with us, we always offer a complimentary first review, if you will, where we're really just trying to figure out, would we be a good fit for each other? And that can be, maybe you don't like my haircut and you don't want to work with us, that's okay. But if, you're not in a place where you can work with us, we'll just stay in touch. And when the time is right, we'll always be there.
Yeah, what would you say is one of the biggest hurdles that keeps families from having this conversation?
That's a good question. I think maybe sometimes you don't know where to start, or you don't think you're ready to speak with an advisor, because I know some advisors might have a minimum where you need to have a certain number of assets to work with them. We don't have that minimum in place. So maybe it's because people don't think they're quite there yet, or it could be maybe a little guilt or shame. You're not where you want to be, and so having that conversation can be a little uncomfortable. And so we always come from a position of no judgment, no pressure. We just want to be a resource and help any way we can.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about your chamber involvement and how you serve not only the business community, but how you and your team work in the community at large as well.
Yeah, so with the chamber, a lot of the networking events is usually where you'll find me and our team. So 9 in networking, we have a couple of avid golfers on our team. So we try to go to those. There's the lunches and the ribbon cuttings, of course. So a lot of the networking type events. And then as far as community involvement, a couple of the advisors do various different things, but the flagship organization, if you will, at Northwestern Mutual is Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, which supports research and families battling pediatric cancer. And so every year, raise funds in a number of different ways. It could be a silent auction, could be a golf tournament. Last year, our team put together a virtual lemonade stand where we put together some lemonade kits and mailed them and sold them to clients, families, friends, that kind of thing, and was very successful. So we'll be doing that this year again come March.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your involvement in the Gilbert Chamber and in the community. It's a pleasure to get to know you and excited to see what you and your team can do here in our community in the years to come.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.